Sam Rashkin. Coming up next is Sam Rashkin, 2012 Hanley Award winner. Now I'm going to read this because you've done a lot. The Hanley Award for Vision and Leadership in Sustainable Housing was created by the Hanley Foundation in partnership with Echo Home and Builder Magazines and Hanley Wood. It was created to honor individuals who have demonstrated extraordinary, lasting, and far-reaching contributions to the advancement of sustainable housing. The award is presented with a $50,000 grant, which is the largest award ever established for advancing sustainable housing. 2012 Hanley Award will be presented to Sam Rashkin at the Hanley Award dinner tonight at the National Building Museum. So congratulations. It's a fantastic honor.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining me. So you are right now Chief Architect of Building Technologies Program, the Building Technologies Program at the U.S. Department of Energy. So
that's true. It's quite a jump from the Energy Star Homes program, for sure.
Is that where you came from?
Yeah, I led Energy Star for 17 years when it was a gleam in our eye to when it grew to 1.2 million homes and about 25% market penetration. So it was a major way to engage the housing industry voluntarily to build much, much more efficient homes.
Oh, I see. So but you're trained as an architect.
Yes.
Practiced as an architect for a long time.
Yes.
And then you moved to Energy Star?
Well, I had a practice and I got called to join Energy Star. I had a long history working with energy efficiency programs in California. It's just a great match.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, this is before even the wave of interest in green design. I mean, this is something that you've been interested in since forever.
I had a business card in 1977 that said Samuel Rashkin, Energy Efficient Residential Architect.
Ah.
Now,
in the 70s, you did really well, and then in the 80s, not as well, and then.
Well, first of all, it's scary what you didn't know when you begin. And the second thing was the two oil embargoes that happened led to an increase in interest rates. You're too young to remember, but we went
not
from
that young.
Like 8 to like 20% over like a 5-year period. So almost all the residential projects were drying up because financing was just so expensive. So I wound up doing a lot of urban renewal projects, doctors' offices, retail projects, government projects. So I was very frustrated getting out of my core focus and interest, which was the energy efficient housing.
I see. So then, okay, the transition then to the U.S. Department of Energy. I mean, how does that happen?
Well, you chart a course with the Energy Star program, and all of a sudden you turn around after 17 years and you have these massive goals that are met, and you look ahead and you realize to get where you need to go next, probably I can do it more good in a new setting, and that happened to be the case with the Department of Energy. The Energy Code path is almost like a hockey stick turned on its side. Energy codes were flatlined in the 80s, early 90s. They've gone up a little bit at the end of the 90s, and then they shoot up 2009, 2012, 2015. Energy Star has to move much faster than I think it can where I was in my position in terms of getting ready for where the codes are going. So by joining DOE, I can push another program that's even further ahead of Energy Star, almost like a farm system. I could help develop new technologies. And maybe most important is disseminate an amazing wealth of content to the industry so it can actually be used, continuously improved, create a community of users rather than a one-way path of just linear documentation going out and then being locked in. It's a continuously improving system. So I'm able to do a lot more at the Department of Energy to help us get ready to where we have to be.
So now that means you've shifted from, let's say, practicing architect to, I guess you're an advocate, I would say.
I used to practice and work in programs within California, but since I came here in 1994, 95, I've been strictly moving programs and getting the technology to the marketplace.
That's interesting. We had a panel earlier, a 2012 housing update, and it was interesting because the discussion is how to build housing now less costly, and at the same time, as you said, in your hockey curve, the requirements are becoming more stringent. So, I mean, do you have any part in that or any thought about that as we sort of emerge out of our recession and we're trying to build new projects, and immediately you have more requirements, and yet the issue is that how can we do it less costly?
Well, my frustration is I think the housing industry has misidentified a problem, much like the Oakland A's misidentified the problem is trying to replace 3 players they lost. And I think money housing is like not trying to go after the old players, which was housing used to appreciate. You used to be able to build in any location, they would come. You didn't have to worry about the performance of the house, and people didn't care. The rules are changing. You need a new metric, and to just worry about cost is a very weak strategy. I think what you have to completely refocus on is value. There used to be 1 out of 5 homes sold were new homes. Now it's like 1 out of 15. 95% of your competition is now the resale, or if some like to call it the used house. And you can't compete if you're focused on cost. What you can do is take all these new attributes and raise the value on owning a new house up so many levels that it becomes compelling again. Now, along the way, we're going to find how we can knock cost out of every step of the way. And the cost increase, if there's any, will be minor or nothing. But first, we get there by thinking about the real problem. Not how do we keep worrying about these costs and what the costs are, but how do we make the value so high I cannot compromise as much as I'd have to buy an existing home. And then what happens is the existing home market, in terms of retrofitting, scales up like completely, because now I have to improve my existing home to be consistent with what expectations are happening to be on the marketplace.
So how do we do this? Because what you're saying is this is the challenge that we were talking about earlier. I mean, this is
why I'm at DOE now.
Got it.
What I'm able to do is promote a level of housing with a program called the DOE Challenge Home that is way beyond Energy Star. It's in fact ready for virtually net zero consumption. In other words, all the energy used on site can easily be offset by the small solar system you can put on your rooftop. And the specs are so comprehensive. They are the way to do that right. You don't just worry about the energy. You have to think about the air quality, the disaster resistance. You have to think about all the components of the house, the quality of the construction. There are so many pieces that you have to adopt before you're ready to put that solar system on the roof. So this program brings a very thoughtful way of how we get there. And in fact, if you look at the monthly cost of ownership, I believe it's going to be less to live in these homes, the cost, than to live in a minimum code house.
That's interesting. So is there a model, has a model been built or a prototype of some sort that can sort of demonstrate these metrics?
You don't need a model. There are thousands of homes out there.
Or can you point to some that
well, there's a builder in Washington whose homes not only use no power, the power produced on site provides all the energy needed for the car as well. We gave our awards to the Challenge Home winners this year, 20 different builders who all produce homes using no energy on the market today. It just, these are a small number of homes relative to the total, but there are thousands of homes out there that are demonstrating how you can do these advanced levels of performance and be a competitive product on the marketplace.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, well, tonight we can learn more, right, with a longer conversation, or I don't know if you'll have a chance to talk.
Yeah, the dinner, and tomorrow we'll cover some more with a 10-minute presentation.
Great. No, thank you so much, Sam. I really appreciate it. Congratulations again, 2012 Hanley Award winner, Sam Rashkin.
Thank you.